Hello. Car ownership used to be more or less straightforward. You'd buy a car, keep it in good fettle, and eventually sell it or scrap it. That was that. However, in the 21st century, things got a little bit more complicated because suddenly you couldn't just, as old men say, old cars were better because you could fix it with just a 13mm spanner and some gaffer tape. No, that just didn't cut it anymore. You needed a fancy scan tool to plug into the car and see, just what was wrong. Now that's bad enough as it is for DIY mechanics, but car ownership is about to take a turn for the worst. Let us look into the future and see how car companies are looking for ways to ruin car ownership even more. So, welcome to the future. Well, let's pretend it's the future. First, you've got to get into your car. Thanks to the march of modern technology, you don't have to use anything as undignified as a key, like a peasant. Now you'll have keyless entry, keyless start, maybe even you can unlock your car using your smartphone. But wait a minute, it won't work. Why? Why? Because pay up, that's why. You wanted to use this for free after you had bought the actual hardware that does the work with your own money? Oh, how quaint. No, you pay the manufacturer a subscription fee every month or you can catch the f***ing bus. Or maybe you can't get in because you have an EV. Here in the future, electric vehicles are now the norm, and your EV has a dead battery. Well, in that case, you can go and hitch a ride with a stranger, because unless you're willing to jack the car up, undo some outer and inner trim, and have a trickle charger on hand, then you can sit tight and wait a few days for the service guys to come around.
Several days later.
Problem fixed, now you're inside your car. Now in the olden days you'd get into your car and you'd probably be met with some nice tunes being pumped out of the radio. Not in the future. As soon as you get in, you get a barrage of propaganda, badgering you to go somewhere and buy something. At this point you'd say, that sounds like it's something I made up, that I pulled out of my proverbial rear orifice. But you'd be mistaken, because in September of 2024, Ford filed for a patent that will allow them to monitor in-car conversations and then foist suggested destinations and services upon the occupants of the vehicle. You set off under a barrage of obnoxious ads. But what you really want to listen to is some of your favourite music. Well, screw you and pay up again. This has been the reality for some time already. For example, BMW charges you a subscription fee for Sirius XM, and they even tried it with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it didn't stick. However, some companies want to go full throttle on this business model, with General Motors hoping to earn $25 billion a year in subscription services by 2030. So this may be just the tip of the iceberg regarding ways car companies will milk its customers. Speaking of milking customers, if it isn't bad enough that you're paying a monthly fee to unlock features that you already paid the car manufacturer for when you bought the car, they're going to continue to screw you over and make money off you, whether you like it or not, because they'll sell your data to insurance companies. That sounds dystopian, greedy, unfair, and utterly ridiculous. And again, it's already happening. Now keep in mind, all of these things that I've mentioned so far are making your life as a driver miserable. And everything is going according to plan. i.e. it hasn't broken down, you haven't even taken the car for a service. Having to have specialised equipment to diagnose, maintain and repair a car is nothing new these days. OBD2 is nearly 30 years old, but cars are ever more dependent on having electronic and software-based functions in the car, which means the mechanics have to spend more and more time looking for, downloading, testing, updating and troubleshooting the program they need to carry out even the most basic of functions. And EVs will probably be the worst of all because they have high voltage circuits, and if you want to fix them at home, it's going to be a bit of an issue. It's going to be like fondling your spouse on your wedding night. Put your fingers in the wrong place and there will be nasty consequences, although in one case it's probably just some screams, while in the other it's death by electrocution. So you take all of this into account. It's all software based. You can't fiddle with a car because it's dangerous. That means that the owner, no matter how small the repair or bit of maintenance, will have to always pay someone else to do it for them. And if you don't believe me, things are already bad enough as they are. For example, my car is from 2010, and if I change the oil, I have to be able to tell the car's computer, the car's brain or whatever, that I changed the oil. And don't think it's going to get better. We're probably going to get to a stage where if you want to change just a light bulb, you have to have the proprietary software that allows you to change the light bulb. Let's just say I wouldn't put it past automakers. So in conclusion, car ownership is going to become much more expensive, while at the same time being much more miserable and annoying and frustrating. The company that sold you the car is going to be in your life indefinitely, as long as you have the car, fleecing you. So that's why I prefer to sound like an old man, like an old Luddite who likes his old car, because it's going to give me a lot less trouble. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, please share, and also please comment. And if you wish to watch a video on things in cars that everyone thinks are brilliant but are not, then click on the video above. And for a video on dumb things that cars have, click on the video below. Thanks so much for watching. I bid you all farewell.